The First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality, left an indelible mark on the world. From 1914 to 1918, millions of soldiers clashed on battlefields across Europe. Nowhere was the devastation more profound than on the Western Front, a 400-mile scar through France and Belgium. Crumbling trenches, shell-scarred earth, and overgrown bunkers serve as stark reminders of the horrors endured. Scattered across these former battlefields are countless cemeteries and memorials that stand as solemn tributes to the millions who fought and died. These sacred spaces offer a tangible connection to the past, inviting us to reflect on the immense sacrifices made and the enduring legacy of the Great War. Across the rolling hills and fields of France and Belgium, vast cemeteries stand as silent cities, their endless rows of headstones a testament to the sheer scale of loss during the First World War. These meticulously maintained cemeteries are the final resting places for millions of soldiers from both sides of the conflict. Some, like Tyne Cot Cemetery in Belgium, the largest Commonwealth cemetery in the world, overwhelm with their sheer size. Others, tucked away in quiet corners of the countryside, offer a sense of intimacy and reflection. Regardless of their size or location, these cemeteries share a common purpose: to honor the fallen and provide a place of solace for those left behind. The rows of headstones, each bearing the name and regiment of a fallen soldier, serve as a stark reminder of the individual lives lost. The silence that hangs heavy over these cemeteries is broken only by the sound of birdsong and the gentle rustling of leaves, creating an atmosphere of profound peace and contemplation. The headstones that mark the final resting places of soldiers on the Western Front are more than just markers of death. They are windows into the lives of those who fought and died in the Great War. Each headstone, whether simple or elaborate, tells a story, revealing glimpses into the lives cut short by the conflict. Some headstones bear only the barest of information, a name, rank, and regiment. Others are adorned with epitaphs chosen by loved ones, offering poignant insights into the character and aspirations of the fallen. Many headstones feature religious symbols, reflecting the diverse faiths of those who fought. These inscriptions, etched in stone and marble, serve as a powerful reminder that behind the statistics and casualty figures were real people with hopes, dreams, and loved ones. They challenge us to see beyond the anonymity of war and recognize the individual stories of sacrifice and loss. Amidst the countless graves of unknown soldiers on the Western Front, one tomb stands apart as a symbol of sacrifice and national mourning: the tomb of the unknown soldier. Located beneath the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, this hallowed site honors the memory of all French soldiers who died in World War I and whose remains were never identified. Each evening at precisely 6:30 p.m., a solemn ceremony takes place at the tomb. Soldiers from the French military, known as the Flame Keepers, meticulously rekindle the eternal flame that burns continuously above the tomb. The ceremony, known as La Sonnerie aux Morts, the call to the dead, is a powerful and moving tribute to the fallen. The mournful sound of the bugle playing the last post echoes through the square, a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made. The tomb of the unknown soldier serves as a reminder that war's toll extends far beyond the battlefield. Section 5. More than just names, unveiling the lives behind the headstones. The sheer number of headstones in World War I cemeteries can be overwhelming. It's easy to become desensitized to the rows upon rows of identical markers, but each headstone represents a life cut short, a story left untold. Through letters, diaries, and photographs, we can begin to piece together the lives of those who fought and died. Imagine the young farmer from Saskatchewan who left his fields to fight for king and country, or the London shopkeeper who traded his apron for a uniform. Picture the Parisian artist who documented the horrors of the trenches in his sketches, or the young nurse from Edinburgh who tended to the wounded with unwavering compassion. Their stories, filled with hopes, dreams, and fears, remind us that the soldiers who fought in World War I were not just nameless figures in history books. Section 6. Monuments to the missing where memory fills the void. Not all who perished in the First World War were afforded the dignity of a known grave. For thousands of soldiers, their remains were never recovered or identified amidst the chaos of the battlefields. To honor their sacrifice, grand memorials were erected in the years following the war. Some, like the Thiepval Memorial to the missing of the Somme, are colossal structures that dominate the landscape. Others, like the Menin Gate in Ypres, Belgium, are more understated, yet no less poignant. The names of the missing, often numbering in the tens of thousands, are etched onto their walls, ensuring that their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Visiting these memorials is a profoundly moving experience, confronting the vast scale of loss and contemplating the countless lives left unfinished. Section 7. Landscapes of Loss, the enduring presence of trenches and battlefields. While cemeteries and memorials offer a solemn and structured space for remembrance, the preserved battlefields of the Western Front provide a visceral and haunting connection to the past. Here, amidst the rolling hills and fields, the physical scars of war are still visible. Crumbling trenches, overgrown shell craters, and the remnants of bunkers and dugouts dot the landscape, offering a chilling glimpse into the daily realities of life on the front lines. Walking through these preserved battlefields, one can almost hear the echo of shellfire and the cries of soldiers. The Verdun battlefield, one of the most fiercely contested of the war, remains a stark reminder of the brutality of trench warfare. Yet, even amidst the desolation, there are signs of hope and renewal, with wildflowers blooming in shell craters and trees taking root in trenches. Section 8. A pilgrimage of remembrance, walking in the footsteps of heroes. For many descendants of those who fought in the First World War, visiting the battlefields and cemeteries of the Western Front is a deeply personal pilgrimage. It is a chance to connect with their family history, to walk in the footsteps of their ancestors, and to pay tribute to their sacrifice. Imagine a grandson standing before the headstone of a grandfather he never knew, his heart filled with a mix of sadness and pride. Picture a granddaughter tracing her finger across the name of a great uncle etched on a memorial wall, tears streaming down her face as she whispers a prayer. These pilgrimages of remembrance are often life-changing experiences. They offer a tangible connection to the past, allowing descendants to understand the sacrifices made by previous generations on a deeply personal level. The Western Front is not just a place of historical significance, it is a place where personal stories of loss, sacrifice, and remembrance continue to be written. Section 9. Bridging generations, keeping the memory alive for future generations. As time marches on and living memories of the First World War fade, it becomes increasingly vital to find new ways to engage younger generations with this pivotal period in history. Museums and educational centers play a crucial role in this endeavor. Through interactive exhibits, artifacts, and personal accounts, they bring the history of the Great War to life for younger audiences. Technology also offers new and innovative ways to connect with the past. Virtual reality experiences allow users to step back in time and experience the trenches firsthand. Online databases and digital archives make it easier than ever to research individual soldiers and uncover their stories. By keeping the memory alive, we honor the sacrifices of those who came before us and inspire future generations to become advocates for peace. Section 10. The Lessons of War. Finding meaning in the midst of tragedy. The battlefields and cemeteries of the Western Front stand as solemn reminders of the human cost of war. They challenge us to confront the horrors of conflict and to grapple with the enduring legacy of violence. Yet, amidst the sadness and loss, there are also valuable lessons to be learned. The First World War taught us about the devastating consequences of nationalism, the futility of trench warfare, and the importance of international cooperation. Perhaps most importantly, the war underscored the value of peace and the need to resolve conflicts through diplomacy and understanding, rather than through violence. By studying the First World War and reflecting on its legacy, we gain a deeper understanding of the human condition. We are reminded of the fragility of peace and the need to cherish and protect it. Section 11. Conclusion. The enduring legacy of the Western Front. The Western Front, a landscape forever etched in the annals of history, stands as a poignant reminder of the human cost of conflict. The countless cemeteries, memorials, and preserved battlefields that dot this region serve as sacred ground, offering a tangible connection to the millions who fought and died during the First World War. These sites of remembrance are more than just tourist destinations. They are places of pilgrimage, reflection, and education. They offer a solemn space to honor the fallen, to learn from the mistakes of the past, and to strive for a more peaceful future. The legacy of the Western Front, is not just about remembering the past, but about shaping the future. It is about learning from the sacrifices of those who came before us and working together to create a world where the horrors of war are never repeated.